Some reason the first attempt video was interrupted. It was disconnected, so this is continuing of that video. There was one question Moksha Mukti answered that was received via messenger. And thank you for joining again. Namaste. Moksha Mukti also has a conference line, and that is going on right now, and that number is shared on the page there, top of the page, and also he's put that on the comment section, so the number is there for you to call in the US. You can also share Moksha Mukti's live feed into different groups or on your wall, and that way you have an opportunity to win one-on-one session with Moksha Mukti. Is the sound coming up? Hello? Yep. The sound is there. So you can share his page and win one-on-one session. There are so far out of 19 people, 4 people won, and they have already been scheduled to go one-on-one with Moksha Mukti today, tomorrow, and on Sunday. And you can also win an opportunity. Simply share Moksha Mukti's live feed into different groups or different pages or on your wall. So that's that. Moksha Mukti also has a one-on-one session. If you need to go deeper, then he offers a one-on-one session, and that is available to you. Simply go to his website and request one, and Moksha Mukti will share that page right here. So just share that page here for you to go one-on-one if you're interested. Because what we're doing here, we're just touching the surface, superficial. However, this is sufficient for 1 or 2 of you or 3 of you. I don't know how many people come to watch. Out of all these people, it's only sufficient for only few people. A lot of people have a lot of questions. They want to go deeper. That requires to go one-on-one session. However, this is free for you. There's no charge, and everyone is welcome here as long as you keep basic etiquette. You start coming here and trolling and cursing and all that, then Moksha Mukti have to block you. And so far there are only few events like that. Majority people are good people. They have good etiquette, and this is that type of gathering. There are other type of gatherings where you can do that type of stuff, and that is allowed. But this is a true gathering. This is true association. We are talking about the truth, and we're pointing to the truth and pointing to the source that is available to you now in the present moment. And simply your comments, question, concern that you type, that pushes Moksha Mukti's button for him to speak, or he speaks, there is a general FYI information, or something reveals to him like a revelation, then he speaks. Otherwise he's just going to remain silent. And he prefers that you call via this conference line that is going on. The number is shared out there, and you can call that number and ask question directly, and that is going on right now. And in the past there are a few people, they took this opportunity to talk to Moksha Mukti directly, and he takes that question coming from the conference line first before he answers the questions on the comment section. And there is a delay in comments. When you put a comment, there's a delay there that I will only see after a certain amount of time, and it varies every time. 7 seconds to, it has gone as long as 2 or 3 minutes. Virginia says namaste. Namaste, Virginia. Thanks for coming back again. How are you doing? Leslie Corral Har says hi. Hi, Leslie. How are you? Amal Marie says namaste. Can you do something about the sound? I see you talking. Let's check the sound. There is no issue on the sound. Maybe it's not your video is muted. There is no issue with the sound here on my end, Vivian. Amal Marie. I think sound is on your end. Maybe it's muted. Go and unmute and you'll be able to hear it. And I can show you what I'm talking about. Sound is coming here. Sound is coming here, and the sound is also coming from here. Sound is coming here. See? Sound is coming here, and sound is also coming from here. So the sound is okay from this end. Just go and unmute it. Maybe you'll be able to hear the sound. And you can also call directly. You have the access number provided, and from there you can call Moksha Mukti directly and speak to him directly. John R. Pettigway says, hey John, thanks for joining. Namaste. Hello, who's online?
Hi, Leslie.
Hello?
Yes.
Who's online?
Leslie.
Leslyn. Hi, Leslyn.
Yes.
How are you? Yes,
Hi.
I can hear you now.
I'm fine.
So thanks for joining. What is your question?
Can I just ask a question about anything?
Well, specifically life. We're talking about life experiences. I mean, you can ask anything, but we're talking about your life experiences.
Okay. I guess I would like to know, what is my soul's purpose, I guess?
What is your soul's purpose?
Yes.
Okay, well, we can go deeper or just give you a superficial answer.
Yeah.
Which one do you prefer?
Deeper.
Well, to go deeper, first of all, we need to, together, you and I, we need to understand what you mean by soul, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you tell me your definition of soul. What do you mean by soul?
I guess, the reason for, I guess it's, what you, came to Earth to do, I guess?
No, don't guess. We're not guessing. We're not rushing. We're not guessing.
Okay.
This is a true association. This is speaking about the truth. Let's get to the truth. So do you know what the soul is, or are you just assuming the soul? You're assuming it, isn't it?
I guess I'm just assuming.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know if you can talk about it.
Oh, okay, so that means everyone talks about it, and you hear that, and everyone is assuming, and based on that assumption, collective assumption, you assume there's a soul, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But can you show anybody, can anyone show their soul? No, they can't. Can you show me your soul? No, you can't. Right? Because it is solely so-called imagined, assumed by so-called expert and given to you based on their imagination and assumption. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's take that out of the system. Let's not say anything about the soul. Okay? So now it comes down to your life purpose, right?
Yes.
Okay. So life purpose comes from two things. One, it comes from to function in the synthetic reality, which is man-made reality that you and I live in the society, isn't it?
Yes.
So within that framework, there is a purpose. Everyone agrees with that, and do you not agree with that?
Yes.
Okay. And then there is something else happening that is called reality. And that's what Moksha Mukti, I'm here to point you to that. That you already have that available within you now in this present moment, and he's simply pointing you to give attention to that. You see? And in that, there is a possibility for you to recognize, experience, and see that source, what Moksha Mukti calls the source, or the quantum plexus, you see. But that is there for you to experience. And in there is no purpose. And whatever purpose you have in the synthetic reality created by man-made reality, and then there you and I are functioning based on the condition your society imposed upon you. Your parents, your teachers, your society, your neighbors, your TV, media, books, teachers, university, all those impose those conditions upon you. Based upon that, you are functioning, aren't you?
Yes.
Okay. So in there is a purpose. You see? And there is a purpose, and many people have told you many times there is a purpose, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they have given you, Leslie, this is your purpose here. Someone else said, well, no, that's not your purpose. This is your purpose. So they have given you multiple people that you trust and look up to have given you many purpose in your life, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
But now you're not satisfied with their answer, their pointing, and you're coming to here, to Moksha Mukti's gathering, and you're asking that same question again, isn't it?
Yeah.
So what is happening there is the answer of that purpose is already within you, but you're not satisfied with all the answers they provided, isn't it?
Right.
So now you're seeking another answer because in reality you're doubting all the teachers, all the people that you look up to, you're doubting them, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
Now you want to find the sole purpose, and what Moksha Mukti pointing, I'm not giving you the purpose. What is your purpose? I'm simply pointing you to something that is available to you now, that is limitless, that is infinity, that is ever pervading everywhere, and that is powerful in a way. But for you it appears as a weak, powerless nothing, because you have been taught, not only you, humans have been taught by their society or conditioned by their society that the thinking equipment or the functionality is much powerful, and thought is powerful in a way because this is our collective thought. See, everything that you have in your mind is collective thought, and that is powerful. So that is sucking up your attention. That is consuming all your attention. You see? And because of that, you have not given attention to the source. And here in this gathering, Moksha Mukti is pointing you. And he's pointing to you that you have something available within now. Give attention to that, and that itself will guide you and give you the purpose. Because, see, you don't need one of the purpose, someone else to tell you, because you have heard all your life, this is your purpose, Leslie, this is your purpose, Leslie. Many people have told that. And you're a grown-up woman, you don't need any other person to tell you what to do, because whatever you need to do is already within you, and simply Moksha Mukti is pointing you to see that. Okay?
Okay.
All right. You're welcome. I'm reading the comments. You can stay here online as long. Oh, seeing hung up. Yeah, if you join the this gathering, and if you want to stay here online as long as you want, you're welcome to stay here, because there are, if you have free times, on your cell phone, you can stay here as long as you want, and ask questions as many times as you want. But we need to go to other comments here. We have Rihanna Engen says good morning. Good morning, Rihanna. Francisco Antonio says namaste. Namaste, Francisco. Thanks for joining. Virginia says namaste again. Namaste again. Thanks for joining again. This is the second session. First time what happened was it was disconnected from some reason. Usually the live stream connected from the desktop doesn't disconnect, but somehow it got disconnected. I think I was doing the producing high resolution. That's why it was disconnected. And I already spoke with the Leslie Coral Hearts. What a sweetheart. She says hi. We already spoke, so let's move on to other people. And Sarah Penton says, hello, my chakra seem to be closing. Can you tell me why? Hi, Sarah. Thanks for joining. Moksha Mukti does not speak about chakras, although he knows there is a crown chakra, there is a pineal gland chakra, there is a third eye chakra, then there is some throat chakra, heart chakra. There are 7 chakras in your body. Some people, those are assumptions given to you by an expert. Whether they are chakra, whether they are not chakra, is for you to find out, because no one actually can see their chakra. See, those are just imagination, imagined by the thought. However, if there are chakra, what Moksha Mukti is pointing to you to give attention to the source, that's he's already pointed to Leslie, and this seems like repeat. He is pointing you to the source. In the source, when you recognize the source, when you experience the source, the chakra itself will balance it. And meditation itself will happen naturally. Chakra itself will balance naturally. And then yoga itself will happen naturally. You see? And it is simple, and it simply requires your attention, simply requires your little effort. You see? And this effort is just a little effort. However, it's so difficult for humans because it's so easy and so requires little effort. If it's difficult, then you would try it, you would do it, and you're conditioned to believe something difficult, and if it's harder, that you believe in it, because that's how you're conditioned. But why would you want to go harder out? Simply give attention to the source that is available to you now in this present moment. And it only requires 15 seconds of your time to give attention to that and see it. You see? And there's a possibility for you to open up, possibility for you to open up the chakra, possibility for you to open up alignment if there are. You see? And I hope this page is dynamic. And I have to keep on refreshing to see your comment. Because, okay. So, and multiple people are sending me friend request. Your questions that you call from telephone, conference line, or questions that you put in comment section or any comments is pushing Moksha Mukti to speak. Otherwise, you can just sit here silently. And the music that you hear on the background is from conference line. And when someone is there, the music stops. So that lets know, Moksha Mukti knows that there is someone. Sarah Penton says, thank you. You're welcome, Sarah. Mouth is kind of dry today. Normally I speak for at least 1 hour before I drink, but here's a glass of water. Cheers. Virginia says, I am not from US, so words may seem different. That's alright, Virginia. We are all in here during Moksha Mukti's gathering. This is not synthetic reality gathering. This is real gathering, true gathering. This is true association. In here, we are all universal citizen because we are all one in the reality. And of course, in the synthetic reality, you have nationality, you're out of the country, you know, this, all that is label and identification are there to function in the society peacefully, saintly, and intelligently. You see, if you can make the call, join, be in the conference. But if you can, it's okay. I can read your comments and speak regarding your comments. Virginia says, so source would be our light. Virginia, I don't know if you heard the conversation with Leslie. Do not assume anything. What the source is brighter than the light that you can imagine, that you can see. Brighter than the sun, brighter than the bright star, brighter than anything. But you do not see with your eyes, you see. It is something within you, and Moksha Mukti is pointing to you. Pooja Bachani says, sure, we'll call you. Yeah, go ahead and give call. You can ask questions like that, and he prefers you ask the questions via phone call. It's a lot easier, and Moksha Mukti is back. Little stretch. And today, I think you've got a little feel of what is Moksha Mukti's one-on-one session going to look like. One-on-one session is similar to what Moksha Mukti had conversation with Leslie. She called and spoke on the phone. So one-on-one session happens via Skype or FaceTime or Facebook video messenger. And if you don't have all those access, then we'll do a telephone one-on-one session. So one-on-one session is going to be like that. So we go deeper. Doesn't touch on the surface. We speak the truth because 99% of the time you are telling you lies because the lies is coming from your thought. That's what Moksha Mukti is pointing, and it looks like someone just joined. No, not yet. So the lies is telling you, giving you all this assumption, and those are all lies in the reality. But it is not lie to function. And you have to accept those lies truthfully to function in the society because that is collective truth. Collective lies become collective truth. And we accept those truths to function in the society. So that gives me labeling and identification that this person is this person lives in this address, this person has this telephone number, this person drives this car, this person has a bank account, this person is this profession. All that is labeling, identification is only necessary to function in the society, and we accept them collectively. I thought, Pooja, you were going to call me, but it's okay, no problem. Rihanna Engan says, how do I get ready for surgery? I have to have soon. Surgery is definitely a challenging thing to do, and I hope no one has to do surgery. And it's possible that when you give attention to the source, that you don't need to do surgery, because in the source, when you give attention to the source itself has power or ability to create miracle in your life, and may even have to do without surgery. However, if the doctor tells you to do surgery, Moksha Mukti is not going to stop and say, don't do the surgery. He's not saying that. What he's saying is that when you give attention to the source, there's a possibility for you to create miracle. So between now and the surgery, give attention to the source. Don't believe in your thoughts, even for 15 seconds while you're here. You see, and in there's a possibility for you to create miracles, and possibility for you to have infinite possibilities. And you may not even need to do surgery. But if you do need to do surgery, simply give attention to the source. The source itself will guide you. Don't believe in the thought. Thought will tell you many negative things. You see. And some things you need to believe in the thoughts because there is information, but 90% of the thoughts are telling you lies. You see. And in the reality, you are lying to yourself. You see. All humans are lying to themselves. You see. Speaking what everybody told them and assuming, and based on that assumption you're telling, and you're not actually exploring and investigating. Moksha Mukti is pointing you to give attention to that, and that itself, that observing, will explore, investigate, validate. See, and then this becomes truth for you. Otherwise, you heard all the lies. Simply give attention to that, and maybe try meditation. But when Moksha Mukti is saying, when you give attention to the source, that itself will allow you to give. That allows you to open up. That allows you to do meditation naturally. But if you need, you can do meditation, artificial meditation, and relax. And you see, when you give attention to the source, you relax, because that is your home. All your life you've been searching for that. And in that relaxation, and in relaxation, you're not worried. But of course, there is anxiety going to be there in the physiological level, but that anxiety is exaggerated by the mind or the thought. You see. And don't give attention to the thought. Be here and now in the present. Rihanna says, I understand. Thank you. You're welcome, Rihanna. Vivian says, sometimes you need surgery. I had an eye operation and now I have a good vision. Well, yes, Moksha Mukti is not saying that. What Moksha Mukti is saying, there's a possibility for you to create miracle. You see, in the source. There's a possibility, and there's a possibility that you do not need the surgery. You see. But however, if you need to do surgery, like a cataract that happens to some people, even happened to my dad, some of my relatives, something like that, surgery will help you. But in the reality, who knows? Who knows what can happen? The quantum that you connected to everything, in a fraction of a second, your cataract may be wiped out. Who knows? But if you need to do surgery, do surgery. He's not denying that. Rihanna says, thank you so much. You're welcome, Rihanna. Thanks for being here. This is Moksha Mukti Apollo gathering. This is true gathering or true association. And he knows, Moksha Mukti knows he's speaking the truth. However, this is not truth to you. It is not truth to you until you see that in your own functionality. When you validate, verify, then it becomes truth to you. So simply don't accept this without validating and verifying. And that's what's been going on in the entire human population. Without validating and verifying, they're taking everything for granted. You see, generalization. See, there's many things happening within you. There's a DNA, there's your own thought, there's environment, and then there's a food that you eat. See, all four things are causing you the problem. And in the source, what Moksha Mukti is pointing, that opens the possibility, and that opens the possibility to have miracle and be free from whatever you have. Vivian says, that's what I had, a cataract. Yes. And people, sometimes they go blind with the cataract, and with the eye surgeon, which is amazing. They can do this operation. Nowadays they can even do laser operation and remove all the cataract painlessly, pain-free. So technology is available. Moksha Mukti is saying, don't use it. Yes, use the technology, but what he's saying, there's a possibilities for you to experience that miracle without all this technology, because everything is already available to you. That's what he's pointing. You see. So no one is on call right now. There was one caller who called and left. And the telephone line is available. There is space for 100 callers, so 100 people can call at one time and be on the call, which will be probably noisy, but haven't got to that day. That day may arise, all 100 lines will be booked, but it hasn't happened now. Rihanna says, I got goosebumps. LOL. Truth. Is that good for you? Is that good or bad, Rihanna, to get goosebump? And the good and bad is just the interpretation of the thought. Rihanna says good. Vivian says, did you have a spiritual teacher? Vivian, Moksha Mukti has to be careful how you answer to that question, because he doesn't want to mislead you. Whatever happened to Moksha Mukti, so-called awakening, happened to him by the grace of God, if he exists, or serendipity. So this awakening happened in 2009, and there is a whole interview regarding that, and Moksha Mukti has already shared that link, and he can also share that with you today. And You see, and he has also pointed that how this happens, no one knows. Nothing actually you can do that can make it happen. You see, but what is pointing to you that whatever you're seeking is already available to you, within you. You see, and no teacher, nobody can take you there. That's why Moksha Mukti says, Moksha Mukti, one, if you heard a conversation with Leslie, he didn't say what she needs to do. He pointed to her what is already available to her within, and he can simply point you and take you deeper and point you. But you have to look for that. You see, it cannot be given to you. No spiritual teacher can give this to you. You see, and no spiritual teacher gave this to Moksha Mukti. This simply happened. And well, if you ask for a spiritual teacher, yes, Moksha Mukti had many spiritual teacher. Like he was born in Nepal. You know where Buddha was born in Nepal. Buddha, Gautama Buddha, Siddhartha Gautam was born in Nepal. So obviously, Moksha Mukti looked up to Siddhartha Gautam Buddha for his early teaching. And then he was raised in the Hindu family, and there were his spiritual teaching there. And then he moved to the United States with his family, and there, there was no rituals, there's no ceremony for many years. You see? And so he started looking for these spiritual teachers because everyone seeks. Ultimately, everyone wanted to come home to the source. That's where Moksha Mukti is pointing. You see? And he was seeking for the source and seeking different modus operandi. Then he went back to Yahoo at the time, internet, back in 1990. Yahoo was available, and Yahoo was such amazing. Everything was in a text. Internet was in a text, and you have to go through modem on a telephone line. Go shh. You log on and go to Yahoo, and some reason there was a comprehensive knowledge about Buddhism and Hinduism. So Moksha Mukti downloaded all that and started reading that. And one thing led to another. Then one person named G.I. Gurdjieff came upon Moksha Mukti's consciousness, and he started reading G.I. Gurdjieff. He is a spiritual teacher based on Russia or some part of that, around that area. George Ivanovich Gurdjieff. So he started reading G.I. Gurdjieff. And then he also started reading Dr. Deepak Chopra. And he still read Bibles and other spiritual texts. And also he read Osho. He read Osho's book and started doing Osho's meditation. And he started teaching meditation at the Ohio State University to different people. And he used to meditate anywhere from 15 minutes to many hours. You see, especially on Sunday. However, nothing you do can actually give you what you're seeking. That's what Moksha Mukti is pointing. And you can copy what Moksha Mukti did, and that may take you to, give you different experiences, but it is not going to give you what you're looking for. That's what Moksha Mukti is pointing. That's what he said. He needs to be careful how you answer to this question. You see, and a lot of people, they want to copy like Moksha Mukti. They want to be like Moksha Mukti. You see, but copying to what Moksha Mukti did or doing is not going to help you, because everyone is unique. You see, nature works very hard to make us unique. Even two leaves from the same tree they're different. They look same or similar from the farther, but in that reality they're different. When you look closer through the microscope, even from like this close up, you see. So that means nature works very hard to make you unique. You see, and you are unique, and only you know the truth within your functionality. That's why Moksha Mukti is pointing to you within, and this is truth. And it is truth to you. When you see that in your functionality, validate in your functionality. Muhammad Nasib says, lovely guitar. Do you play music with it? Yes, Moksha Mukti plays guitar. Rihanna says, are you gonna have meditation sessions stretching, etc. live. Rihanna, in the reality, this is meditation. Moksha Mukti is meditating while speaking, and he's pointing you to that, the source that is available to you that allows you to meditate naturally, like how Moksha Mukti is meditating. You can sit in the corner and close your eyes and do meditation. You see, that is artificial meditation. Moksha Mukti is not going to speak regarding that. What is pointing to the source, that you give attention to the source that allows you to go natural meditation. Moksha Mukti is meditating. He is meditating 24/7. He is even meditating in his dream. You see, and you say, how in the heck can you meditate in the dream? It happens to Moksha Mukti. And this is meditation, and he's simply pointing you to give your attention only for 15 seconds. Give attention to the source, to that observing, that is observing everything, and see what happens. And one of these days, Moksha Mukti may lead you to the prayer session. You see, Moksha Mukti is going to chant, and we can do prayer. But right now, he doesn't feel like it. It's not necessary now, because simply happening is happening. See, whatever happens, simply happens. And before, if you go back and watch YouTube videos, that Moksha Mukti used to do chant before he began his ceremony in his house. People used to gather there. And Moksha Mukti gathered in his house every week. He did many gatherings. Then he'd gather in a church, temple, all the religious places. And Moksha Mukti can gather. If you invite him to your town, he can gather and give talks like this for 1 hour, 2 hour, whatever, you see. And he can come to your town. Of course, you need to book the venue and, charge people to come to the venue and, provide all these expenses and, things like that. And, some of you are good organizer and can do this. Invite Moksha Mukti and do the gathering, and of course you maybe get paid for that, if you generate enough income. But Moksha Mukti is not looking to do that, but if it happens, it happens. You see, he would like to come to your town, different world, different parts of the world, and give these talks in person. You see. Vivian says, thank you for your answer. You're welcome, Vivian. And Vivian says, I heard your music. Where did you hear Moksha Mukti's music, Vivian? On YouTube? Rihanna says, awesome, thank you. You're welcome. By the way, who just joined now, Moksha Mukti also has a conference line that is posted on the comment section or on top of the page. You can call a conference line and ask him question directly via phone. And Moksha Mukti has a conference line, and that can take up to 100 callers. So, you can join in. There's a telephone number and access number that allows you to be in a conference via telephone. However, if you don't have access to phone, don't worry. You can put a comment, and Moksha Mukti is going to read comment and answer your questions or speak regarding your comments. Little stretch for the back. Sitting in one place is not really good, you see. Maybe in the future, Moksha Mukti will set up a standing up session. It's going to stand up. A little water time, water break. Vivian says YouTube. Yeah. Yes, Vivian, there are Moksha Mukti's music on YouTube. In April this year, yeah, April 2nd, Moksha Mukti did a live concert in Dallas, Texas. But right now, he doesn't do much music. He's giving more talks like every day. Like this energy is guiding Moksha Mukti to do this activity. And this is simply happening. You see, everything is simply happening. And the music that you hear in the background is coming from conference. That is, line is open. Anybody wants to call and ask questions, conference number is provided on the comment section as well as on heading of this video. And if you're watching from Namaste group or Light Workers group or any other group, you simply need to click on a link on the top of the page. It says Moksha Mukti Apollo is live now, or like Moksha Mukti Apollo live video, and it's a blue. So when you click onto that live video link, you will take you to another page. From that page, I think you'll be able to type your comments, and Moksha Mukti will see that and speak regarding your comments. And Moksha Mukti has a one-on-one session today at 1 p.m. So this has to end by 1 p.m. but most likely this will end in another hour or half hour, depending on what is. DJ Das says, I mean, what's the way to perfection? Hey DJ, how are you today? Thanks for joining. Namaste. I would recommend that you watch this video later and hear the conversation between Moksha Mukti and Leslie, because what is happening there in your functionalities, there is assumption that there is a perfection. Moksha Mukti has already spoken regarding that. The purpose, the perfection is, the perfection is only there in the synthetic reality to be perfect in a way it is structured for whatever functionality, whether it's a perfect profession, in that functionality. So it's created synthetic. In the reality, there is no perfection. It is imperfectly perfect in the reality that is happening. And everyone is unique. Everyone is imperfectly perfect in unique way. So you are already imperfectly perfect uniquely in that way. But in the synthetic reality, to function there, yes, there is a perfection within the structure, bound by the structure, bound by the box, bound by the knowledge, logic, sequence, things like that. There is a perfection. Even there is a perfection of the intelligence, sharpening the intelligence in the synthetic reality. And Moksha Mukti is not speaking about the synthetic reality. He is speaking regarding the reality. You see, and maybe what you're seeking is already available to you. The perfectionist, whatever you're seeking, is already available to you. That's what Moksha Mukti is pointing. It simply requires your attention on just for 15 seconds. Don't believe in your thoughts. Give attention to that is observing and see what happens. Only 15 seconds, not more, not less. Looks like there's someone on the call. No. Isaiah Rodriguez says, how do you say about wealth acquisition accumulation? Isaiah's wealth is energy. It's energy. No more, no less. And what Moksha Mukti is pointing you to the source that is available to you now in there. When you give attention to that, it creates relaxation for you. And in that relaxation, wealth can be attracted. You can have money in the bank. It is not wealth to you. It is wealth to you when you recognize that money in the bank. And that recognition happens in the source, and then that money becomes wealth. So you don't need a lot of money to be wealthy. You see, rich and wealthy is different. A rich person cannot be, some rich people are not wealthy. They're still needy. They're still lacking something within them. You see, and then although they have tons of money, they're not wealthy. That money is giving them stress, too much stress, too much anxiety. You see, that's why a lot of people in the world, which is billionaires, a lot of billionaires in the world, they have recognized this. You see, and giving away their money. For example, the richest person on the planet is Warren Buffett. He gives most of his money to the philanthropic cause. He gives most of his money to Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. And the second or third rich person, Bill Gates, also gives everything, majority of his money, to his foundation. And he gives very little money to his children, because money is not the wealth. And money cannot make you happy, wealth cannot make you happy. Because what happiness is already available to you, and that's what Moksha Mukti is pointing to you. The happiness is already available to you within you, and see that, recognize the source is already there for your happiness. You see, and people with wealth and fame and all that, people not happy, and it has happened in time and time. Many people, they are millionaires. Michael Jackson, Prince, Robin Williams, and many celebrities, businessmen. You see, they have multi-million dollars, yet not happy, because the source of the happiness is not out there, not in money, not in career, not in anything. But the source is happiness is already available to you within, and that's what Moksha Mukti is pointing to you. Ultimately, you are seeking for that. Ultimately, you want to come to home, and that is available to you now in this present moment. Muhammad Nasif says, please tell me what's the difference between Musa, Ilhaz, and Ilhaz Musa. Moksha Mukti does not know what that is, Muhammad. And Moksha Mukti is not here to talk about any assumption. See, assumed by whether the scripture or someone else. See, just like go back and watch this video later on, and hear the conversation between Leslin and Moksha Mukti. That Leslin spoke about soul. And see, soul is again assumption, and everything is assumption based on the where the comments go. The comment just disappeared. Now I have to look at your comments on the phone. Some comments just disappeared because it's going fast. Okay. And okay, so now DJ Das says we living in a monetary system. Can't. Thanks but no thanks. Bye. DJ Das, you can choose whatever you want to choose, you see, and Moksha Mukti is not stopping you. You can go wherever you want to go, but ultimately with the monetary system you are seeking for your own salvation, own liberation, your own moksha. That is, you are seeking ultimately, you see. Otherwise, why time and a time after all the billionaires, even Saudi prince, 32 billion worth, is giving all his money away? Why? Because money cannot make you happy. But if you choose to seek money, hey, seek money, because money is necessary. Everybody needs money, it's true. It's not denying that, but money is not going to maybe make you happy. It's just a tool for you to function in the society. And some people are so weak, they need money to function in the society. Everything they need money. See? Isaiah says Prince was happy. Well, he seemed happy until that he was taking a lot of painkillers. Why he was taking painkillers? He was bored. He was saddened. And he was taking painkillers. If he was happy, he didn't need to take painkillers, and he was feeling happy through the taking of painkillers, through these drugs. So in the reality, he wasn't really happy. Isis says, haha. Isis says, but thank you. You're welcome, Isis. Isis says, what's your view on eating meat? And I appreciate your view on money. You're welcome, Isis. You see, some people get it, some people don't get it, and it is what it is. So Isis says, eating meat. Moksha Mukti does not eat meat. Moksha Mukti does not tell anyone don't eat meat. He doesn't even tell his own family. He doesn't tell them don't eat meat. He tells them, and he tells all his viewers, that this body is not supposed to eat meat, and it revealed to him. He knows this body is not supposed to eat meat. And I'll give you a couple of examples. For example, if you look at the teeth of all the vegetarian animals, they don't have a canine. Sheep, goat, horse, donkey, cow, all these animals, their teeth is similar to humans' teeth. They don't have canine, and they all are vegetarian. So that's just the one analogy. But he sees, Moksha Mukti sees, he's a vegetarian. He knows this body is not supposed to eat meat. And he does not eat meat since that day that revealed to him. And it happened in a fraction of a second back in 2009. Same day he experienced so-called awakening. Same day he doesn't drink alcohol. Same day he doesn't eat meat. And same day he started experiencing this epiphany that lasted for several months. However, he doesn't tell others that he don't eat meat, but he infers like this. In the reality, this body is not supposed to eat meat. He knows that, and that body and this body in the reality is exactly same way. It's the same, fundamentally and essentially. Although there are different aspects of it, but it is functioning exactly same way, and this body and that body exactly same way, fundamentally and essentially. And he leaves it up to you to infer and decide and do whatever you need to do. Rabi Roy says, makes sense. Why would we need to cook meat then eat it with a knife? That's irrelevant to the question that Isaiah is asking, Rabi. Even to chew, you need to have a canine. And that is also, if you eat, cook and eat is different. Because that cooking was not available in the time when humans were evolving. And humans probably, this is just my assumption, this is what I see here, and you don't have to accept it because there are many intelligent theory, you see. But what Moksha Mukti is describing, what he sees here, perhaps people were eating vegetable, fruits and plants, grass. So you'd be surprised that humans probably were eating grass, just like cows and other animals, and fruits and plants and all that, and grains. And somehow there was a fire in the forest, and that cooked up some of the animals, and maybe it smelled good to humans, and started saying, what is the smell? Then somehow they figure out it's coming from the meat and it's easier to chew it, and maybe started doing that. But what Moksha Mukti sees here, human body is not supposed to eat meat. He knows that, and look at all the evidence scientists are researching and coming up, and has already come up with that. Meat eating produces a lot of damage to your body, and a lot of meat eating people are now eating just the plant-based food, vegetarian. But Moksha Mukti is not telling you anything. He's not telling you don't eat meat. He's simply pointing you, and based on these talks you can infer and make decision yourself. I just got a comment here from Yoni DRFG. Yoni writes, "What are we?" Yoni, I do not know what you mean by we. What do you mean by we? Here Moksha Mukti can tell you about Moksha Mukti. He can describe his functionality and how he's functioning. You see? And Moksha Mukti cannot describe how you're functioning. So he cannot say we. You see? Because that is for the thought. That is coming from the thought. So what do you mean by we? Rabi writes, I switched over to vegetarian a few months ago. I just woke up one day and listened to my body. It had nothing to do with beliefs, just an inner knowledge of what was to do. Yes, that's what happened to Moksha Mukti. That from that day, he's simply not eating meat because that's what his body is telling him. And you have same information available to you. Isaiah's writes, what do you credit as your source of knowledge, wisdom, books, mentors, epiphanies, divine revelations? Well, Isaiah's, what is happening here to Moksha Mukti is simply expressing the expression of the existence or the source. This is simply expression of that. He does not read anybody's book. He does not listen to anyone. This is simply happening. And you can go back to Moksha Mukti's page, there are countless hours of talks, maybe total talks between combining YouTube and Facebook, probably close to 80 hours. 80 hours talks that is expressed simply coming from the source. I don't know how it happens. It happens. And it doesn't always happen. When it happens, Moksha Mukti talks. Otherwise, he's just going to sit here silently. And your comments, question, concern is pushing Moksha Mukti's button for him to speak. You see, and this is simply happening like that. You see. DJ Das says, Yoni, you are me makes one night, so two or more humans together makes we, and we normally known as people. Hey DJ, I would suggest you go watch this video later on when it's taped, go live and see conversation between Leslin and Moksha Mukti, because what you are assuming based on comprehensive collective knowledge given to you by someone. You see, speak from your experience. I mean, that definition, I know that definition. I am not an idiot. I think I'm an intelligent person. I know what you mean by we, but here he's trying to make a point, pointing you to something that you experience. You see, pointing you to your source. IGS says, do we know about your past lives? IGS Moksha Mukti does not get into that. It hasn't revealed to him. You see, maybe it reveals to him and when he speaks, but it hasn't revealed to him yet. And past, present and future is happening simultaneously now in the present moment. However, you do not accept that, especially I know DJ is not going to accept this because he has been fooled by comprehensive collective knowledge and he has been assuming what comprehensive collective knowledge is saying, and he's been repeating like a tape recorder what comprehensive collective knowledge is stating. And he doesn't know anything. He's repeating what he has been conditioned upon. Whatever he read, you see, not experiencing. You see. And that thinking, linear thinking, is saying there's a past that happened, present is happening, and future is upcoming. Because that is linear thinking, that thinking conditioned upon you. And based upon that condition, you'll say there was a past happened, present is now, and future is upcoming. But in the reality, it's not like that. Everything is happening simultaneously. Past, present, and future is happening now in the present moment. And Moksha Mukti is pointing you to that to see the source. You see, and there's a recognition, then you'll see that. Otherwise, you go back to your own thinking. That thinking is not your own thinking. That is collective thinking. Imposed upon you by your society, conditioned upon you by thinking, and that is not your thinking. You may say, well, I'm thinking. No, you're not thinking. Maybe you're taking one thought and adding another thought and making your own, but still all your comprehensive thought comes from the conditioning. That's your condition. Yoni still writes, why do we exist? Okay, let's not talk about we. Ask about you, Yoni. You want to know why you exist? Don't worry about others. Speak about your experiences, because you cannot experience other people's experience. You experience. If you say, why do you exist, then it makes sense. Ravi says, do you feel the intense cosmic energy hitting our planet right now? They feel like they are leading up to a major shift in a collective consciousness. Such tangible and intangible energies are always present, Ravi. Some are tangible, some are intangible. Even the energy is not close to us, even far distant galaxies, even like 1 trillion miles away. You see, distant galaxy. What is happening there is directly affecting you intangibly, and you don't even see that, you don't even recognize that. That is happening. Because we are all one, we are not separated. And the separateness that you see, you cannot deny that, and that separateness is perceived by the mental equipment given to us, or granted us, or cursed us, and because of that we see the separateness, and you cannot deny that. However, in the reality, we are all one, and all of them are influencing you tangibly and intangibly. Wesley Holiday says, I just says, I accept it. DJ said, check my Facebook profile and you know. Well, the comments you're commenting, I don't need to check anyone's profile. I can read from your comment. You're saying everything, assuming from your thoughts, comprehensive thoughts, collective thoughts. There is no your own experiencing. You see, everything you're stating here is not you. Collective thought. You're reiterating that. You see, and anyone can recognize that. And there is no problem. It's okay. You know, majority of humans function like that, and it's okay. Because now you're after monetary gain, because everything you want monetarily, and to do that, yes, you need to use your mental equipment. And what Moksha Mukti is pointing, that's a slow process, because that may take you slowly to whatever you're seeking your goal. But what Moksha Mukti is pointing in the source, in that recognition, it can create miracle. It can transform your life. It can create that transformation for you to function in different shift, and have contacts with the so-called influential people in the life, and making you a lot of offer that you will be surprised. You know, I don't know how much money you're making now. Maybe you're making 100,000, 200,000, 500,000, $1 million. However, if you have the possibility in what Moksha Mukti is pointing, you have opportunity to billionaire circles, then you are making multi-million dollars. You see, by thinking, you see, you are denying a lot of things. You are not accepting a lot of things, because that is nature of the thought. You see, it's closing you down, and giving attention to the source will open you up. And maybe this is not the place for you to be. Maybe for you to be is somewhere else. And Moksha Mukti said, you know, he doesn't mind if you leave and go to somewhere else. But what he's pointing here is to the source, and that is available to you now. But what is happening there is you are hijacked by your thought. All your energy is hijacked by thought, and you're speaking from that, and you're believing in the thought, and which is okay, but that's not what Moksha Mukti is pointing. Rabi Roy says, thank you, much love. And DJ says, so are you? No. What Moksha Mukti is not saying is it is saying from the natural expression, expressed. You see, and there's a recognition here, and he's speaking from the experiencing, speaking from this meditation that is happening. He's not. He does not read anybody's book. He does not listen to anyone. This is simply happening. You see, in other words, you can accept this, you can reject this, you can stay in neutral. That's entirely up to you. If you reject it, then you don't need to be here. You see, you don't need to be here, because then you would be wasting your time, and I don't want you to waste your time. You see, you can go somewhere else. You see, and utilize your valuable time instead of just listening here. I don't know why people do that. Because they are driven by comprehensive collective knowledge. Anyway, let's move on to next person. By the way, the conference line is open. If you are interested, you can join in. Trevor Emmett McCordy says, I enjoy your presence. Thank you, Trevor. Thanks for your comment and your compliment. Okay, now DJ is coming back to the reality, and he's asking, how long do you meditate every day, and what do you recite? Hey DJ, Moksha Mukti does not recite anything, and Moksha Mukti does not meditate artificially. This is meditation. This is happening. Meditation in Moksha Mukti meditates 24 hours, 7 days a week, and he is even meditating now in the present moment. He does not need to close eyes and sit in a corner and recite some mantras to meditate. See, because he's meditating naturally. You see, everything is happening naturally. He even meditates in his sleep. You see, and he's pointing you to the source that is available to you, and it only requires you to give your attention to that only for 15 seconds. Give attention to that. He's pointing only 15 seconds. Give effort, give attention to that observing that is observing, and see what happens. And in that allows you to have a possibility for you to recognize the source, experience the source, see the source. And when that happens, that see itself creates you natural meditation, and you will be meditating wherever you go, even in the career, even you're making money, wherever you go, that allows you to have meditation and allows you to have abundance. See, that's what Moksha Mukti pointing. You see, and the abundance doesn't come like in one flow. It happens. It happens just like the rain happens. Rain pours. It happens just like a tornado happens. Hurricane happens. See, I was watching the YouTube the other day, and there was a hurricane in China. This wind was speeding up to 250 miles per hour. See, everything happens. Similarly, the flow of the wealth may come to you in 250 miles per hour, or that's just the analogy. In that speed is what I'm saying. Okay, Sherry Lewis. Hey Sherry, you're back again. Thanks for joining. Namaste, how are you? Yoni says, haha, you are obviously ignoring my questions. You did this because you do not know the answer, and will expose yourself to everyone watching this. Have a good day and stop lying to yourself and others. Well, okay, Yoni, that's why people come back to Moksha Mukti again and again to watch it. You just want everything like a pill, everything fast. No, that doesn't work like that. Here, you can go somewhere else. Somewhere else can give you lies. Moksha Mukti doesn't lies. He's speaking the truth. Other people can give you lies and tell you this purpose, that purpose. No, Moksha Mukti does not do that. That's why again and again many viewers are coming back and watching. Why? Because Moksha Mukti doesn't do that. Moksha Mukti does not lie. Moksha Mukti speaks the truth. And you are too hurry to want to come to the terms. You see? And that's what causing you the problem. You can go somewhere else, and Moksha Mukti doesn't mind if you go somewhere else. You see? And what exports? It is exposed to someone who is wanting everything fast. That is coming from the thought. You see? And in there is a problem for you, because now you do not know the purpose. And Moksha Mukti knows his purpose. You do not know your purpose. And you don't want to know the purpose. That's why you are commenting like that. You see? Asking for something. Wanting me to tell you lies. Moksha Mukti does not give you lies. See, and you can leave, and Moksha Mukti is not going to mind. Sherry says, I'm fabulous. I think you are fabulous. Hope you're having a lovely day. As usual, Moksha Mukti is having a wonderful time. By the way, we are on one-on-one on Sunday. Sherry, I have shared the time and date and given you all the info, so we're all set for Sunday to go one-on-one. And if I need to change the date, time, I will let you know. I may have something going on Sunday that time, but if I need to change the time, I will let you know by tomorrow, by Saturday. DJ say, you should be a sit-down comedy, laugh it loud, and what will Moksha Mukti do even if it minds? I don't know what you're talking about, DJ. You are amusing yourself. Trevor says, at times when I see clarity, I feel as if I have been living and experiencing for all of eternity from every presence. Can you relate to comment on this? Yes, that can happen to you. But whatever that happens to you, Trevor, that happening cannot be identified and understood by the mind or the thought. You see, and it simply happens. Sherry says, yes, I have. Thank you. You're welcome, Sherry. Not a problem. Did you say, I'm watching you cause all my mates are going crazy laughing? Well, you see, people laugh, people cry in this gathering. Majority of people laugh. And they report back, well, there's something profound experiencing here. And some of you, it's laughing. And it's okay. And some of you cry and shed tears of joy. It's okay. And, you're not the first person that Moksha Mukti spoke, you see. I mean, Moksha Mukti speaks to thousands of people, and you're glad you're here, enjoying, making you amused, but it is what it is, simply happening. And the thought will never understand that. Thought wants to understand it. Thought wants to know, and it is laughable for the thought. Because it's not structured within any of the comprehensive knowledge that you have known or studied. You see, everything that you know come from collective thought or collective knowledge collected by humans from the planet. Since the existence of humans that was born, that was existed on the planet. Since that time, we have collected comprehensive collective knowledge, and based on that knowledge, this doesn't fit into that, because this is beyond thought. And of course, you're gonna laugh. Even I am laughing. You see, why do you need to get serious? They just say you must be jobless. This is Moksha Mukti job, DJ. People pay to listen to Moksha Mukti. They go one-on-one session, and you are getting this for free, and you're taking this for a ride. It's okay. It's free, and it is what it is. Trevor says, I understand it's difficult to put words to the way of the universe, but it's enjoyable to try. Yes, ultimately that's where you're seeking, Trevor. Ultimately you're seeking to be home, and that is already available to you now, and it simply requires your attention, is that Moksha Mukti is pointing. And in that attention, and just little effort, that attention, you see, allows you to open up to infinite possibilities. You see, and that's what you're wanting. Everyone is ultimately seeking to that, and it is available to you now, and that's what Moksha Mukti is pointing. I'm not gonna even read DJ's comment anymore. It's making me boring. I think you should go get a job, DJ. I think you don't have a job. Apply for some job. Sherry says they are not being very nice today. It's okay, Sherry. There is no problem. Moksha Mukti is not agitated. There are always 1 and 2 trollers here. And this troller today trolling is a nice troller than the other one. So that's why he's letting him keep here. He's not blocking him. Okay? He's doing with the taste. And yesterday there was a troller. He was just started cursing and Moksha Mukti had to block him. See, but there is no problem. Moksha Mukti is not agitated. And it's okay. You see? There is no problem. And Moksha Mukti is pointing you in your life also. You have similar people. You see? That's going to get to you. That wants to get to you. But simply, you see, give attention to the source and you are not agitated. You see? And that nothing can affect you. No situation can affect you. You see? Poor fellow is making $500 a week and he's reporting, you know. There are millions of people that are making millions of dollars in an hour. He's reporting $500 a week. It's good for you. Somebody's making that $500 in a second. $5,000 in a second. $5 million in a second. Well, if it's good for you, good for you. Maybe you need to go somewhere else and make more money, DJ. As I say, how to be one with the universe. You are already one with the universe, Isaiah. There is no separation. Only separation perceived by the mind. Mind is perceiving separateness. A thought is separating you. You see? And simply don't believe in your thoughts, even for 15 seconds. Give attention to the source that is observing everything and that is pointing you. The Moksha Mukti is pointing you to that, your source that is available to now, and in there, see, you're not separate. Cyril is okay as long as everything is okay. There is no problem, Sherry. There will always be 1 or 2 trollers. This is not Moksha Mukti is not giving these talks first time. Moksha Mukti's hundreds, a few hundreds gathering, few hundred talks. Moksha Mukti is doing this for a long time, and you see, there is no problem because you see, the problem is coming from the thought. You see, the thought does that, and and this would be a good example for us to see, live example of what it can do to you. You can do to your thought. But in the source, you are never bothered by it, never agitated by it. Justin Hastings says, do you give readings? No, Justin, Moksha Mukti does not give readings. He's not a psychic. He's not an astrologer. He's not a fortune teller. Vivian says, I put an invisible shield. That is also not required. You can observe what he's saying, not attached to that. You see, not attached to the thought. His question or comment is putting a thought into head and don't believe in that. See, and that is simply happening. You see, and you cannot deny that. All thoughts appear and disappear. You cannot deny that. You see. And from now, Moksha Mukti is not even going to read DJ's comment, because it's just wasting time. Sherry says, I am trying to be open to possibilities and not paying attention to my thoughts. Thank you so much for giving me a greater understanding. You're welcome, Sherry. Thanks for joining here. And, we have one-on-one session coming up. We'll go deeper. And right now, Moksha Mukti is only touching on the surface, superficial. You see, this is just the superficial. And we're going to go deeper in one-on-one session. Jody says, mind over matter, mind, thought, I think control your emotion, body, and spirit. Yes, that is true. Mind over thought, mind over matter, that happens. But what Moksha Mukti is pointing, don't even believe the thought. Thought can do many things. Thought is powerful. You see, don't deny that. He doesn't deny that. Thought put a man on the moon. Thought put a rover on Mars. You see, thought put many satellites. Thought has given this technology, cell phone. You see, now he's streaming live. All this given to you by thoughts. So thought is powerful. You see, but what Moksha Mukti is pointing, there is something available to you now that is even more powerful than the thought, but it seems weak. That's why you refuse to give attention, because thought is consuming your energy. Justin Hastings say, what do you do then? Justin, Moksha Mukti is simply expressing the expression of existence, and this is simply happening. This is simply Moksha Mukti Apollo gathering, and he's simply pointing you to give attention to the source that is available to you, and ultimately whatever is seeking is not out there, it's already within you, and that's what he's pointing. You see, everything, happiness, everything, joy, epiphany, extraordinary experiences, feel good, whatever you're seeking is already available to you, and he's pointing you to that. And it simply requires your effort, little effort and attention to see that observing, that is observing everything, and he's pointing you to that. Jody said, don't let things, people get into your head. Yes, that's what Moksha Mukti is pointing. And you can see from time and time after, nobody can influence Moksha Mukti. Nobody can bother Moksha Mukti. You see, if they bother him, well, there is a blocking. Moksha Mukti is blocking, take action. There is action is taken sometime necessary. If somebody does not have etiquette enough to be in this gathering, then he doesn't or she doesn't need to be here. If you don't have simple etiquette, and if they are not presenting etiquette, Moksha Mukti simply removes them, but it doesn't bother them. You see, because he is going to express whether you are here or not. See, this expression keeps on going, and this expression happened. One time in this gathering, there was no one there. Other time, there was multiple people there. Even when there was no one there, that Moksha Mukti knows, even the plants listen. And what happened? Near Moksha Mukti used to give satsang talk gatherings. These gatherings, two plants, trees, small plants, they bloom by themselves without planting the seed. See, there's two plants right exactly where Moksha Mukti used to give talks, and I'll share that in Moksha Mukti page. Actually, he has already shared that there's two plants that grew, and all the other plants that he brought from the store that paid money for it, those all of them died. But then those two plants, without water, they are there living. You see. Hey DJ, I'm not going to answer your question anyway, because if I tell you something, so what? You see, you're going to laugh at it anyway. So let's move on to somebody who is taking this seriously and answer their question. Just like Dawn Kra Tapia. Hey Dawn, you're back again. Thanks for joining. And actually, Dawn was in your situation before. She was here a few days ago, or almost a month ago. And she was the same skeptic like you. Now she's coming back again and again to listen to Moksha Mukti. So you see, maybe that you can see something from others' behavior. Dawn writes, good morning, good to see you today. Yes, good morning. Namaste, Dawn. Thanks for joining again. This is your multiple time you're back. So is Vivian. Vivian has been here multiple times, maybe over a dozen times. And writes, do you react something in the moment? Yes, Moksha Mukti, everything is happening spontaneously and you're reacting. And thought is actually making you react. Thought is making you react. In the reality, there is only one action. And everything else is reaction. And everybody who is saying they're acting is actually reacting. Because everything from thought, that is reaction. And the reaction happens spontaneously. And that reflexes there, it allows you to react, and that allows you to save. You see, when there is a danger, you react, and that reflexes has a capability to save you. and it is there. There's a functionality. And hey, I'm not even gonna go read DJ's comment anymore. It's not worth the time. And that's what I told Dawn before. I said, Dawn, leave, don't be here. And she's coming back many times. Why are you coming back here, Dawn? Didn't Moksha Mukti tell you not to come here? But you're coming back in the beginning because you're a skeptic, and I know you're a skeptic before. Now you're coming back. There's a reason. And DJ, you're just being here first time and you're taking too much time. I'm not gonna give you more time than the people who've been here constantly. So I'm gonna give more time to people who are regular than who you are. So I'm not gonna read your comment concern based upon comprehensive collective knowledge. You see, go read a book. Then you'll utilize your time. And I haven't blocked you because so far you have done it in a nice finesse and etiquette. Virginia La Defraise Lou says, how can we get rid of our thoughts? Virginia, you can believe whatever you want to believe, just like our friend here, new friend who just joined today for the first time. I know you've been here many times. Our friend does not know about anything about Moksha Mukti, and he's just coming up like a smart aleck, saying all these things. You can believe whatever you want to believe. You can believe Newton, Einstein, whoever. But Moksha Mukti is pointing to you. Whoever tells you that you can get rid of your thoughts, they're lying to you. Okay, Moksha Mukti speaks the truth. See in your own observation. See in your own functionality. You cannot stop thoughts. All these jokers will tell you you can stop the thoughts, but you cannot stop your thoughts. You see? However, you can stop the attachment to the thought, and that's what Moksha Mukti is pointing. Don't believe in your thoughts even for 15 seconds. Give attention to the source that allows you to stop your attachment to the thought, and you simply observe the thought that is appearing and disappearing in the mind. And thought is not agitating you, thought is not bothering you, then other people's thinking is not bothering you. See, the other people are thinking here, they're thinking and they're typing. It doesn't bother Moksha Mukti. You see, because when you experience the source, nothing will agitate you. You see, if agitate goes to some limit, some point, then you know how to take action. You take action and move on and not get agitated. You see, because ultimately you want to relax. Relaxation allows everything, and what you're seeking is not stopping the thought, relaxation, because now all your thought is not making you irritable. Because all thought is say, oh, go to Newton, go to this, go to that, go to that. What is the biggest thing? What is my purpose? Blah 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 blah. Thought is saying that blah 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 blah, and that is making you restless. And ultimately you want to relax, and he's pointing you to something for you to relax in the source that allows you to relax. Nicola Bennett says, how can we stop loving someone and obsessing over them? Someone from your past that you once were in relationship with, that you still love and think of every day. Well, you cannot stop loving. You see, that is your nature of loving. See, Moksha Mukti expressing, that is a love. This expression is love, but this is love is different kind of love that you love your family or romantic partner or your friends. You see, that's different love. But yet this is simply love, and that you cannot stop it. That is simply expression of who you are. It expresses that love. Obsession comes from the thought, because thought is making you obsessed. You see, don't believe in the thoughts and see what happens. And you see, you created an experience in the past, you see, and that is stored in the memory. All the experience created in the past with someone, that's stored in the memory, and that experience was good, feeling good experience, and you want to recreate that feeling good experience because you may have not gotten that type of feeling good in a present moment, and you want to go back and receive that. You see, and that is causing you not to forget about that person. You see, be here and now. You see, because everything is happening dynamically, and whatever you think in the past, you see, and whatever now cannot be repeated, and you wanting to repeat that previous experience from the past is causing you the problem. Virginia Lar de Frey says, thanks. You're welcome, Virginia. Thanks for joining. Thanks for sharing your experience. And thanks for coming back here again and again. And Moksha Mukti will answer the questions that you've been here before prior to answering any other questions. If you're just new here today, you have to hang out. You have to be patient.
7, 3, 6, 6, 8, 6.
Nicola Bennett says, thank you. You're welcome, Nicola. Thanks for joining. Thanks for sharing your comments from your experience. Majority of human here like to vehemence. See, produce vehemence with tremendous energy, useless energy, creating that vehemence. You see, and believing in the thought and impose that thought onto others.
You entered access code 7366686.
If there is no one else, Moksha Mukti does not need to speak. He can remain here silently, and he has done this in many occasions. While even remain silently, there was people in this gathering, and there are people in the gathering. Moksha Mukti can see there are people in this gathering, and he does not need to speak. There are people listening, watching. Just because they don't put comment, they're not there. They're there. Even they're not there, Moksha Mukti is not going to speak with you. DJ, you have enough share for today. You need to reflect. You are throwing a lot of vehemence. Davarka Ladenko. Hey Davarka, you're back again. Hi, how are you? Namaste. How's everything today? How's your daughter? Vivian Oliver says, stay centered and wave. Yes. As you can see, there are people trolling Moksha Mukti. He's in center, not agitated, not angry, not bothered. You see, trollers will troll you. And people like that in your life. There's a family, there's a friends, there's a loved one, there's strangers, they do that. You see? And if you get agitated, what will happen? It just eats up your energy. The energy that you save to give attention to the source is now eaten up. Now you have no more energy to give attention to the source. Thought is consuming and you're tired, restless. Don Tapia says, DJ, why are you beginning to negative? So negative. Be kind. It doesn't cost a thing to be nice. No need to worry, Don. Moksha Mukti is not agitated. He's not bothered, and so far he's done with the finesse and adequate. Finesse is there, so he hasn't blocked him. If there's no finesse, he start doing that, then he's going to block him. But he's been doing it with a class, and it's okay. It's okay to have people like that. You see, it's okay. There is no problem. And don't be agitated. Worry about you. Worry about your center. Be focused here and now. Be here and now. Give attention to the source, not to the thought, because whatever causing him to do something is coming from his thought. And when you accept that, it goes into your thought, and it just can create anger in you, and you don't need to do that. And that's what Moksha Mukti is pointing, and that is a good example for you. Those of you who are watching, and there's multiple people watching right now, for you this is a good example. You see, live example. You see, and you can't get this anywhere else. You see, seeing is believing. You see, whether you see with your eyes, you believe in the synthetic reality, or you see with your inner eyes in the reality. You see, that observation that you see with your inner eyes, you see, that's what Moksha Mukti is pointing, regardless that is seeing. Virginia says, I agree with you, Don.
You entered access code 7366866.
Nicola Bennett says, do you believe in reincarnation karma? Nicola, Moksha Mukti has already spoken regarding this on many occasions. Moksha Mukti actually does not like to talk about reincarnation. However, what he like to talk about is, yes, there is everything is cycle. Everything is happening in cycle. Like when this universe needs this energy or atoms or quantum from this body, it will take it somewhere else and place it somewhere else. And so that is happening, right? So everything is recycling, and many people bodies get recycled every day. So it is recycling. So perhaps in this recycle process, you see, there is a DNA. DNA has all the memory, and in there is a maybe karma attached to it, and there is a reincarnation. There is a memory in the DNA. You see, who knows that? No one knows that. People can imagine about it. People can assume about it. You see, but in the reality, who knows? No one knows there is reincarnation. You see, and Moksha Mukti does not see it here, but he's just describing how he sees here. You see, and in the reality, who knows? No one knows. And even he sees here, he can imagine about it, assume about it. You see, who can verify that? No one can verify that. You see, and why do you want to waste your time verifying that something that you cannot verify? I mean, if you can see it, that's fine. You can speak about it, that's fine. You see, but why do you need to focus on that? He's pointing you to focus on the source that is available. In the source, what is happening is DNA is there. You see, DNA is there within you, and that has a so-called karma. You see, and all the thought is arising in you because of that DNA. You see, and that is happening. Sherry says it's very difficult to laugh out loud, but you're right. Nicola says, this is the first I've seen or heard from you. I agree with you. Well, thank you, Nicola. Not everyone is agreeing with Moksha Mukti, and this is okay. And in the beginning, people are skeptic. You are skeptic, and that is understandable. You see, and that has happened to many of you too. In the beginning, many of you were skeptic, but you kept on listening, coming back, and some of you are reporting back to Moksha Mukti. You gained so much wisdom by coming here. But Moksha Mukti is not offering you any wisdom. He's not offering you any teachings. He's not telling you anything. He's not giving you anything. He's not giving you a lecture. He's not giving a speech. He's simply pointing you to something that you already have available. And what Moksha Mukti is expressing, that expression, you already have it within you. And that's what Moksha Mukti is saying. Maybe there is a wisdom, maybe there isn't. It's up to you to decide, but Moksha Mukti does not say anything about that. Anyway, thanks for joining here. Thanks for sharing. And thanks for making it lively for us and for everyone. And Nicola says, I agree with you. Good explanation. You're welcome, Nicola. Namaste. DJ is finally turning around from skepticism to something agreeable. So it's okay to be skeptic. Actually, Moksha Mukti wants you to be a skeptic. Moksha Mukti wants you to validate and verify in your own functionality before you accept this. He says this to you. You see. Trying to put this phone here so I can read your comments from far back here.
You entered access code 736686.
Dabarka says, Sylvia. How is Sylvia doing today, Dabarka?
Access code 736686.
Martin and is back again. Martin Andre. Hey Martin, you're back again multiple times. Says, hey, how are you? Hey, now you do, you say namaste. Hey, how do you do? Namaste, Martin. Thanks for joining again. How are you? Don says, can you speak on or what are your thoughts on black holes or how it relates to us? Thanks. Don, Moksha Mukti is not really here to speak about black holes because Moksha Mukti is not a scientist. He is simply describing what he sees here, and what he sees black hole as a gate to the multiverse, other universes. There are multi-universes, and that is the gate to go to other universe. And nothing comes in from black hole, but everything goes out. That's what he sees here. See, when you pass away, so-called all the information will go from here, but nothing will come from other universe. However, there's some other source that is available to you now, and in the dream you can have access to multiverse, different universe. That's why in dream, see, that is coming to your dream, and you are now a different person's wife, different person's daughter, different person's mother, different people's friend. See, all that is happening because, see, anything that you can imagine that is happening simultaneously in multiverse. You see, that is happening, and that you can get access through your dream. You see, but through black hole, you see, nothing escapes from, nothing comes back from black hole. You can escape to different universe. Everything is contained in this universe. Nothing goes out from here. Nothing comes in, stays here, and some leaves and goes out, but nothing to come in. Vivian says dream can be prophetics. Okay. Don says, okay, thank you. You're welcome, Don. How are you doing today? How is your back and neck? Is it feeling any better? Yes, dreams can be prophetic. What is actually, that is the revelation revealed to you that is coming from, multiverse or the universe. And actually, this is even dream. Now, you think this is real, and in the synthetic reality, this is real because this is concrete, this is solid, and this is happening, right? And you cannot deny this. However, what Moksha Mukti is pointing, even this is a dream, and you can get awake from this dream, and when awakening happens, you'll say, "Wait, I was dreaming, now I'm awake." See. Okay, now this is it. Moksha Mukti took it to the limit. Now we're gonna ban DJ, and everyone will be applauding. Now we're banning DJ. All this time it was etiquette, it was finesse, but now this is not finesse. Moksha Mukti is gonna ban you. Ban you, brother. You can wasting your time here. Go somewhere else, please. Please earn that $1,000 per week. I think that will do your world a good. So I'm gonna find. All right. It's time to ban our good friend DJ. It's been fun. Please don't waste your time here. You do not belong here in this group. Go make some money.
You entered access code 7366686.
I think I need to get my iPad to ban Mr. DJ. So just hang on right there, guys. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back here. So I need to go to that page. Uh, Connie Ilgesius de Castello says, how can someone find the right path? By coming here, you're not going to find right path, Connie. What Moksha Mukti is pointing you to something that is already available to you now in this present moment.
Code 7366686.
However, whatever he's pointing you to something that you already have available. And I'm just trying to look him here.
Code 7366.
Okay, folks, finally Mr. Good friend DJ, who's been such a troller, is banned. I warned him. So he's been banned. So let's focus on the real topics here. Martin Andre says your life is too funny. Dawn says, yes, my back and neck feel much better. Thank you so much for the prayer for healing. You're welcome, Dawn. I'm glad you're feeling better. And you feel even better than what you were before. Connie writes, bye, DJ. Yeah, bye-bye. So I was speaking regarding someone's question about the path. That was Connie's question. What Moksha Mukti is pointing here to the source, Connie. He's not pointing you to the path. The path is only available in the synthetic reality, and that you already heard. And so what he wants you to do is, after this video is over, go ahead and watch this video. He has conversation with Leslie, and what he pointed to the Leslie is the same thing to you. Dawn says, DJ, you have a lot of work to do on yourself. Yes. He's been taking everything for a ride. His parents probably, spoiled him, you see. Now he's everything wanting for free and wanting everything for a ride, you see, causing him the problem, causing you to be nuisance. As you can see, what I'm here, multiple people coming back and saying there's a problem. It's not only Moksha Mukti. And Moksha Mukti did not remove him immediately until he got to the point, you see. Everything has a limitation. Everything is done by etiquette or finesse. Moksha Mukti accepts that. And even that, see, it's not going to bother Moksha Mukti. Let him go. Let him go to his path. He doesn't need to be here. He doesn't even want to be here, you see. And once certain thing arises, it's just time for them to let them go. Go. Nicola says, I don't worship the guy. I think every single individual can offer you an alternative insight in life. Trevor says, I am back, my phone battery died, haha. Yeah, that happens. Sherry says, thank goodness I was having a struggle with him, laugh it loud. Well, that struggle is actually pointer, Sherry, because what Moksha Mukti is trying to do was trying to point everyone who was here about the situation and not get agitated by it. If you get agitated, it just eats up your energy and you're just wasting your energy. You see, for what? You see, it's not necessary. That's why he kept on having here. He told many times, this is his first time here. You see, and no one does that in the first time. See, you listen. Why do you come here? And anyway, so up to the point, he needs to go now. It's over. Kani says, I do believe that our reality is dream, that we are co-creators in this world. Yes, you are creating the synthetic reality. You're not creating the reality. Reality is as it is. It is what it is. It is now. It is here. It is available to you, the reality. The synthetic reality is you create. And all the synthetic reality, the society is created by the mind or the thought is created. You see? And it is all illusion. That's what Moksha Mukti is pointing. Vivian says he's bored and rude. Yep. He's bye-bye. He's gone. Nicola Bennett says, do you practice law of attraction? No, Nicola, Moksha Mukti does not practice law of attraction. You see? What he says, what he points is something that when you pay attention to the source, in the source there is a possibility for you to have infinite possibilities. That itself will create possibilities for you. However, yes, law of attraction does exist in the synthetic reality because whatever you think will come to you. You imagine, you think you're living in a big house, that will come to you. You imagine you're being rich, that will come to you. You see? Whatever you imagine, you think, that will come true. Because everything is created by the thought. Now, you can imagine all that, but what is happening in most of the human is that 90% of thoughts are negative, and negative thought is saying, no, you don't deserve to live in a big house. Now we're going to take you to a smaller house. You go live in the smaller house. And thought is saying, well, you're going to have a tremendous abundance of health. No, the thought is saying, no, you don't deserve that. Now you're going to make you sick. So thought is doing that. Vivian says, can you have an attraction on a source level? Source is, there is no attraction. Source is actually observing itself. Observing in the mirror. Fascinated with his dancing. You see? Dancing. Simply happening. Fascinated. Sherry says, so we can create our own reality. Yes, you can create your own synthetic reality. Not the reality, but synthetic reality. You can create that. You can imagine whatever you think will come to you true. However, then the other thoughts will come and say, well, Sherry, you don't deserve that. You see, the thought will tell you that and keep you to the place that you are. So just be mindful on the time. At 1 o'clock, Moksha Mukti has a one-on-one session. So he needs to get off in about a couple minutes. And Connie says, what is synthetic reality to you? The synthetic reality is what is created by the thought, created by the mind, created by the society. These are all synthetic reality, you see. All the thought, all the functioning, all the society, everything is synthetic reality. Everything that you see, hear, know is coming from synthetic reality. Without that synthetic reality, you don't see anything. Without knowing, you don't see anything. You see everything through the knowledge. Trevor says, Sherry, I feel your reality is created by your affirmations. There is one way to create reality, but it is created like how you, not so much affirmation, your imagination, your dream that you dream. You see, that will come true if you keep on dreaming. You see. And Moksha Mukti is not pointing to anything that, because nothing will actually ultimately make you happy. Even the dream that you dream come true is not going to make you happy. Ultimately, whatever the source of the happiness is already available to you here, now, in the present moment. That's what Moksha Mukti is pointing. And that is simple, that is effective, that is fast. Because ultimately, whatever you're wanting is already available to you now, in the present moment. Because none of the thing that you dream is going to make you happy, you see. We have seen time after time, Michael Jackson, Prince, Robin Williams, multi-billionaires, millionaires, even Warren Buffett is giving all his money away. He's living in a 5-bedroom house or 3-bedroom house. See, because a big building, living in a big mansion, castle is not going to make you happy. That's just a dream. See, that dream can happen, you can be living there, but ultimately that's not going to make you happy. Ultimately you want to come to the source, and why waste your time going through that process? Give attention to the now. That's what Moksha Mukti is pointing. And in there is a possibility of infinite possibilities, and it can also create miracle. And what you're dreaming doesn't take you longer, but in the source, it's a shortcut for you. Okay, so I think so time to go. That's all the questions Moksha Mukti is going to take today. It's time to go. I have a one-on-one session at 1 o'clock, so I have to take a little break. So just leave this question: do you believe that you think positive thoughts will it out your negative? No. Moksha Mukti has already spoken regarding positive thoughts and negative thoughts in many occasions. Debs, you can go back and watch his older videos, and he has spoken about this. Nicola says, have you ever done an Ayahasaka retreat or use any other plant medicine, or do you enlightenment come from meditation, yoga, or just natural? Nicola, this is your first time here again. Moksha Mukti has already spoken regarding this, and if you need further information, he will share the Moksha Mukti's link here, and from there you can go and watch his video. Kani says, so if I share our positive synthetic reality as a collective reality, what can happen? There's infinite possibilities in the source. That's what Moksha Mukti is pointing, Kani. Share, say goodbye, my lovely. Okay, so this is the time to say goodbye. Have a blissful day. Blessings to everyone. Have a Moksha Mukti going to do quantum prayer for everyone, for your health, for your wealth, and everyone be blessed. Have a great day. Namaste. Thanks for joining.